All right. Try to get it together to tell this little bit of a story about my experiences. 381st MIMS, McConnell Air Force Base. Um, when my wife met, or I met Joe, my wife, I had actually asked another young lady, Kluge, I think, at Taco Tico, right outside of McConnell. Anyway, Kluge was an airman, but worked at Taco Tico, do you know? So I had a motorcycle, and I said, "Hey, would you like to go on a picnic and ride on my bike?" And she goes, "No, I don't. I don't ride on motorcycles." And I was like, "Okay, okay." Well, I'd spun a rod bearing in my 428 Cobra Jet Fairlane 69. Wow. Bought that for $400 from a farmer out here somewhere outside of Wichita. All original Cobra Jet back then. The guy raced it. Crazy. I butchered that car. But anyway, Chloe goes, "No, I don't ride motorcycles." I said, "Well, cool." And she goes, "But my friend just broke up, da 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 da, and I think she does." And then here comes JoJo. Uh, I'm 18, she's 24, mature woman, beautiful woman with a red bandana on her head, all up, and beautiful smile and blue eyes. And she goes, "Yeah, yeah, I do a picnic and motorcycle things." And I was like, "Wow." Right on. So we did our first picnic. Uh, I went to her apartment, um, and she was cooking fried chicken and such. She made us up a picnic thing. And on the back of my 250 Elsinore, we go to one of the parks here in there in Wichita. Um, find a place and such. I don't know. JoJo probably remembers more details about this, but I hadn't even given no thought about something to drink or nothing and such. And oh my God, she cooked this awesome. I mean, wow. Uh, so there's like a vendor over there, and they sold. What did we buy? I think we bought iced teas, but it was only like these little bitty kind of cups. And I was like, "Oh, we're gonna need like six of those." Oh my gosh! So balanced them things on my bike. It's a kickstart bike, okay? And then rode him back over there. I'm sure I spilled some, but I made it back over there with these little bitty drinks or whatever they were. I just recall, like wow. And man, we hit it off real good and such. Beautiful thing. Uh, don't know about second date or whatever, but somewhere in there. Uh, I took JoJo to a drive-in on my bike, and we laid out a blanket and stuff. And you just put the speaker right there. Anyway, the movie we watched was American Graffiti, which was pretty cool. Sitting in one of the drive-ins over there in Wichita, watching American Graffiti with my bike behind us. Just no. Oh, I was a brand new dirt bike. You ride on the street, but it's got knobbies and stuff, and um, yeah, that was a beautiful thing. Yeah. But she knew me as RV Bob. And that's reentry vehicle. And I went to McConnell. I got out of tech school in October. So somewhere October, November, I showed up at McConnell. Conventional troop, ammo. And the building, the bomb dump at McConnell. The lower was the RV, the nuclear shed. We set up just on a little bit of a hill from them. It was a really small dump because the whole idea of us, the 461s there, was to support the base. Small arms, grenades, not necessarily claymore, but that kind of stuff. And primarily support the RV to whatever. Anyway, so there wasn't a lot for us to do. Not in a grand scale. And everybody that was senior there, I don't think there were 10 of us there. I'm trying to remember all the people, and with the sergeants and us just coming out of tech school or such, I doubt there were a total of 10. Anyway, I have stories to tell from McConnell. As new NFG, lowest rank, you get assigned to base duties, or like base cleanup. You did gate guard at the nuclear, at our bomb dump. You did security when there's your post thing. When I got assigned to the RV down below, in the nuclear shed, I had my own little office and my own little duties. And what got me there was I don't know how that position or whatever, but they needed somebody with typing skills, and you could work down in the RV shed, down there. And I had like 2 years of typing in high school, and I go, I can type, and Captain Kurt D. Eckert, went down. I reported to him, talked to me for a couple minutes, showed me what my duties, responsibilities, thing, and there I was. I have my own little room, buzz you in, buzz you out, and nobody but me and the captain and that kind of thing come into that room. It's just do you remember all those punch cards that you would have to go? I would take those to the base. I would make the punch cards. Okay, I'll just go with that. I'd make the punch cards. I would personally take them to base because they're classified, and give them to the computer room. I know they had an official name. They would run a tape thing, give me a big freaking printout thing. I would take all the business back to my little office and then make the numbers line up or not. We'll just go with that. And then you adjust it with the punch cards because you fix your errors or whatever. And I had 2 thermite grenades in a box above my safe. That's just how serious they took about nuclear stuff, anything. So pretty. So I got to in where they would bring in the RV, which you can go see at McConnell. They have one right out front in the bay, right there. So when they would bring in the RVs, which they were doing quite frequent because of the nuclear disarmament that we had going with the Russians. In other words, we take out the decoys. Anyway, if the 463s needed another person out it's 2-man policy to go in the door two people minimum. You know what I'm saying? One can't do it. That's uh anyway. Um, I got to work a lot of this when you go out to get the RV and bring it back. There's security. You got to pull security a lot with that. Here's the story that I'd like to share about that. We were coming through El Dorado, and as one of those people, you stop at an intersection. I got out with my M16, and you have not in the chamber, but it's a full clip, and you do the halt the traffic or block the street, whatever that is, and you roll on. At least that's how one of those things I did. Also did the gun truck. But anyway, my stepdad, Jerry, my brother, I think, can, because I know this story's been told quite a bit. He came to me or when I went out to wherever he was, and he goes, "Hey, da da da," and I remember him, but I didn't particularly. So I pulled out. I have to tell it from his perspective because I sort of remember this, but not really, because I've had hundreds of things happen in the Air Force, and that's just, But I guess he had pulled up, and I sort of visualized where he's talking about because I've done that security. And I told him to back up or go the other way, or so. I gave him a command of what I wanted him to do, and he said he did it, and he went off. And I'm sure in those moments I was recording. That's Jerry Hayes, that my stepdad. But to me, I was in a different place as far as remembrance and stuff. A lot of memories. They had an incident, 1976, and I'm in that office, and everybody gets called to the outside. And Captain Kurt didn't have a particular office. He had a desk and a section. You know how. Anyway, everybody called to attention. Everybody was there, and the briefing was they'd had an accident on site. Somebody had dropped a socket or a wrench, which is what happened again later. Which, shit. So, and they had called it a broken arrow, an accident involving a nuclear weapon. That's what the briefing was. And these are the things we were all going to do. And with the oxidizer leaking like that, and everybody saw what happened when it really connects up in Arkansas, I think it was. Well, you're under that threat the whole time you're going out. That RV had to come off of there. That RV had to come off. A lot of brave people that day. And we got it done. You know what I mean? And Martin Marietta, it's Sunday, so I'm not going to use messed up. And their suits leaked. And a couple, not our people, but the BMAT, the people working the silo, they got hurt because Martin Marietta's suits were defective. But that was all classified, at the time. And I've seen where they recognized it eventually, but yeah. My time at McConnell. It was all good. I remember, this is my F-105 story, and Man, I hope I can recall that he, as an FG to McConnell, like I said, October, September, somewhere in there. I think this happened in 76, this incident. So I was assigned to base cleanup. And I'm on the back gate of McConnell. And when you were done with whatever it was, you called base taxi. They come pick you up and take you back to wherever it is. I don't even recall. So I made the call. A base taxi picks me. It's a guy in a car. And we're going the I don't know what the proper name in that road from the back gate to the base, and you go. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. The road that goes down the end of the runway there to the other part of the base. I know that has official name. But we're coming from back gate, going this way, and I loved the aircraft coming in. You know what I'm saying? And there were two F-105s from the Air National Guard coming in, and I could see them. And they're getting closer, and I'm kind of fixing it because I dug it because the runway's just right there. That's where they're going to land. And in fact, the National Guard's right there to the right. And hell, we're just going 20 miles an hour anyway, but we're just bumping along, and I'm watching them, and all of a sudden, the one F-105, they're already low, like they're coming in. They're just like they, not side by side, but, aircraft. And the one kicks in full afterburner. And man, he just jets across. And dude, he's low for that to happen. I go, oh, that was odd. And so I'm watching this other one, and he comes in, and all of a sudden his tail is just doing like this, like this. And I go, oh, that's bad. That's bad. And I told the driver, stop, stop. And the driver was fixated what I'm trying to, and he wouldn't stop. So I reached over with my left hand and just pulled him, to make him go towards the deck, hit the brake, stopped, right on. So this is all happening within a real, so watching the 105, tails, boom, 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 and they're dropping pretty good. Uh, Dude, they were but not telephone pole high, but a little bit higher than that. That's anyway. The canopy pops off. The rear seater, if I remember this right, the rear seater went out. And I know about the catapults. I'm a 4.61. The things that shoot them out. I know how to. I'm the one. We're the ones that give them that. You know what I'm saying? I know how far that'll go. And man, they're already so low. And I was like, oh no. And I jumped out. Uh, in my mind, I'm thinking they're going to hit the ground with that. Because you got to get separated from the, and your chute open, and not, man, they were low. And then he went a little further, and then a front seater went out, and I saw in the field a bay hailer, with the twines over to the left, and not like they're connected, but dude, it isn't like he comes up and comes down. I mean, anyway, I know I saw the first chute pop, and I thought, wow, because he was so low. But the front seater was even lower. You know what I'm saying? So I'm running towards him, and he misses all the equipment, and he comes down, and it's like, poof, and he hits the ground. And it's like, well, shoot open for him. But, I mean, oh, dude. So I got up on him, and I want to say it was a major lieutenant colonel. I remember that. And he was sitting on all fours, sort of, a little shook up, but not, and I'm trying to assess him, any bones sticking out. I mean, any obvious trauma thing you could obviously see, go to it. You don't need to ask him if it's fucked. So I'm like, are you all right, sir? And he goes, no, I think I broke my left arm when I ejected out. And I said, and he's sort of holding it and cradling it, but, that's not life threatening right now. What else is going on? And I'm talking to him. You can tell he's got all his composure. I mean, he's there. So, wow, hard hit. And my back, I left out part of this story. As I was running towards him, he ejected. The aircraft kept moving, and I saw it in like I'm running towards that guy, and the aircraft is coming down, gliding, and I see it, and then there's a big blast of an explosion type thing, fireball, heat, and I looked to it, and the aircraft tail had hit, and the JP4 and whatever, and it boof, but it was just boof, and it kind of went away. I mean, it didn't, you felt it, and the boof, fuck. And I got to him, I'm talking to him, and nothing I need to do about moving him or nothing, you know what I mean? He's stable, and there's help coming, there is. So he tells him about his arm. He's holding it. We're fine. No blood rushing out. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. He tells me, he says, I don't want to go over there. And he's looking back behind me. And I said, all right, sir. And he goes, something about something and a car or something. And I didn't really make out. And here comes, here comes the SPs. Here comes the medics. People are coming on to help. So I leave him, he's got what he needs. I just turn around and walk to over where he's talking about, and it's the road. There's SPs everywhere, throwing out, blockades and everything, and, pulling security kind of thing. And they know me, so I mean, I walk right there. And I can't tell you when I first observed what or saw was there was like a blue mass that I was told was a car. Dude, this Honda car was shredded. The motor was here. The top was just, I mean, and I didn't understand how did that happen. And what happened was the F-105 apparently hit the ground, skipped or whatever, landed on top of that car, skidded, and it went off to this way, and the car was over here. And the 105 was just parked on the ground like somebody parked it without wheels, and it was crazy. But that car was shredded, and there was a lady sitting at the door, on her ass, and, they're on her, the medics, and, what she needs. But man, she is just covered in blood hard. And she's been cut on her head really bad, or scalp. I mean, it's really bad as far as seeing. And she was apparently driving it. And then they tell us there's a little baby in the car. And I was like, fuck. No. They said, yeah, she's behind the seat on the floorboard, trapped in the glass stuff. I mean, they're trying to get there. And, oh, dude. They got that little baby out. The final thing was, because they rushed both, everybody went to the base, or wherever they went to, medical, either base hospital or I don't know where all of them went. But when we got told back that baby was okay, You know, he got cuts and he got, stuff, but he gonna be fine, or she. Man, as a 17-year-old airman first class, oh, man, thank you, Lord. Thank you, man. But, yeah, that's McConnell. Another little bitty incident. As an FNG, one of the other things you did was when things came to the bomb dump after hours, all the NCOs are home, whatever, you're on call. If something comes to the bomb dump or anything, anything, you go. So I went and signed for something, at O Dark 30, come in through the gate and everything. Nuclear facility. So, I mean, or a nuclear, and there was an SP walking the fence with his dog. And where I'm walking on the dirt road, sunken, is lit, but it's, but I can see the SP out there with his dog, and it's pretty cool. 18 years old, and uh, so I walked a little, and I just had a little package. I don't even remember what it was. Blasting caps or nothing. I don't know. But I hear the dog go off. And these are big ass German Shepherd dogs. And I hear the dog, just go off. And then next thing I hear, is the M16 in full auto. Dude, I hit the freaking ground. I hit the ground left and right looking like, oh my God, fuck. And where I went down, the road just dipped a little bit. So, I had to look over a hill to look towards that fence, which was 100 yards. I don't know, less than 200. Where the cop had been. I got, looked up. There's no more disturbance or nothing. You can hear uh, people and stuff, and I get up, and what happened was the dog tried to eat him. The dog turned on him. And those dogs were meant to hurt people. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And on the M16, you have safe. First click is semi and full. You push it with your thumb and roll it back. That's full on. Well, that's where the cop went. There wasn't no click to semi-auto. In sheer panic, he just fucking pushed his thumb through because this dog trying to eat him. It was like dang. And he did. He killed that dog's graveyard dead. And that dog did, he's bloodied up a little bit. But I said, oh, whew. Yeah. All right. McConnell Air Force Base, 381st MIMS. They're good people. A lot of brave people. That ribbon I keep sort of showing to people that I have on my wall, that's from that action from 1976 or whatever. It was for the whole squadron. What everybody did, dude. Duty, honor, country. Love everybody. Happy Sunday.